Thank you so much for watching Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, where we inspire Uganda. This is yet another edition of Sports Galore on the 29th of May 2017. In this edition of Sports Galore, we do have an interview from the PR of Uganda Swimming Federation. We have basketball, we have AFCON, the qualifiers for 2019. Uganda is playing Cape Verde, and the officials for that match are already set, and of course everyone knows who the officials that are going to officiate that game between Uganda and Cape Verde. And on our international sports, we have Sebastian Vettel steals a match in title race with Monaco Grand Prix victory. Andy Murray handed warning ahead of French Open. Francesco Totti bids a tearful Roma fairway. And of course, Iniesta becomes the most decorated player in Spanish football history. Mario Balotelli jokingly reveals plan to beat Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo to Ballon d'Or. Arsene Wenger to battle cabs on his power at the Emirates. This is what we have on this edition of Sports Galore. But we will start with what we have on our local sports, starting with an interview from the PR of Uganda Swimming Federation. Eric.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? Good to see you again.
Oh, good to see you. I saw you last week and I'm seeing you again.
That means I'm moving the world of sports left and right and central. Sports is everything to me.
Okay. You have a lot of activities on the swimming calendar, locally and internationally. First, let's talk about what you have, the events you have this year.
This year started with a very, very big performance. We had just come back with the team in December from Rwanda for the Canada Games Zone 3, and which, of course, we came out third overall. And as well, at the beginning of the year, we still had, we sent a team to Zimbabwe. That's for Canada Games in Bulawayo. And our team really performed well. We came up with lots of awards, lots of different awards. We also organized the Uganda National Primary Championships. This is the third time we're organizing such a meet. Basically, we used to, back in the days, they used to say swimming is only for international schools. But we started the championship for the national schools. So we organized the Uganda National Primary Schools Championships, which Green Hill, of course, took overall.
Yeah.
And they were the defending champion for the last year. At the same time this year, they also took the overall. And again, we came along and organized the National Secondary Gala. That's for only national secondary schools.
Yeah, yeah.
We're trying to take away this saying where they say swimming is only for international school kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We now have kids who are doing good performance, good times, even secondary schools as well.
Yeah.
In all secondary and primary schools. And right now, we're looking at lots of events coming up. But before we go to the events that are coming up, we were supposed to have the university championships.
Yeah.
Due to the lots of bureaucracy with the universities, how they do their sports and management, we didn't manage to host it, but we organize. We're hoping to organize it next year.
Yeah.
So right now we have a main event coming in as the national senior event of the year. It's an annual event. The fourth year we're doing this event, and that's the Uganda National Clubs Championships. So we're hoping to have lots of clubs coming in. When you look at where it started, that's way back in 2013, and we barely had 5 clubs taking part in this event. But right now, already lots of teams are coming in, confirming attendance, and we're hoping to see more than 15 teams. Now, this doesn't only show that lots of people are coming in, but it shows that swimming in general is also growing. Okay,
swimming growing in Uganda at the moment. We have an Olympic team that goes to represent Uganda at the Olympics. We have the Commonwealth team. What is swimming in Uganda going to do to improve, to have the same level of competition as the other countries that represent, the other athletes, that swimmers, that represent their countries at that level, at the Olympics, at the Commonwealth Games? Why is Uganda not on that level? Badminton tries a bit, but then athletics takes over.
When you look at countries like US, or let me not go to US, when you look at countries like South Africa, it's a country in Africa.
Of course.
And it's I would say it's the only
they have a huge budget
swimming country we have in Africa. When you look at countries like US, Australia, countries
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Great Britain,
Yeah.
those guys have everything they need in place. I mean, right now, when you look at the current situation we're in, even the clubs we're having in Uganda,
Yeah.
they still have to pay for the facilities they used to train.
Yeah, yeah.
Even the national team itself still has to pay for the facility we're using. So when you look, there are lots of factors that are still keeping us low. I would say back in the days, we never used to have standard coaches.
Yeah.
But right now, at least the federation has done a lot to bring in different courses, different training to our coaches. So we have all the coaches we need. But then we do not have the facilities we need for training. You look at swimming; it's a little bit an expensive sport.
Yeah.
It's first of all the kit itself, just a racing swimsuit.
Does the budget that the government provides and National Council of Sports provides for swimming in Uganda, is it enough for you to train athletes to get to the same level as Team USA, Team Australia? And South Africa also is somewhere around there.
Let me just look at the international events we've had this year.
Yeah.
We've had 2 international events. And our budgets, just for one swimmer, they might need around 5 million shillings.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Just a normal budget, an average budget.
Yeah.
But what's happening now with the National Council Sports System, as swimming, we find ourselves that actually the parents.
The Olympic Committee, don't they have a budget that they give you guys?
No.
The way they give athletics and all the other federations.
That only comes in if it's Olympics time. That's
Yeah.
when we have everything settled. But when it comes to some international events like Africa competitions, let me say the Kana Games, we went to Zimbabwe in Bulawayo 2 months back. Every parent or every kid on the team
financially supports their kid.
Exactly.
And what does the federation do to make sure they get funds to support the kids? Because you can't swim and then ask your mom for money, go back home late hours, your mom is thinking, or dad, they're thinking, oh my God, I need to financially support my child.
That's what's happening even
to represent this country as an athlete.
That's what's happening currently. But as a federation, what it had to do, I mean, if you're going in to ask for something, sometimes you need to first be able to do something. You need to show up something. So the president of the Gas Federation, the first goal he had, or the first goal we had as swimming, was to first set a structure for ourselves.
Okay.
So we've set standards for swimming. Initially, you don't just go to the government. You're like, I'm taking swimmers to Rwanda, we need money. But then what have you done previously?
Yeah.
Because swimming is a baby sport in Uganda. It's not a grown sport like you see football. So the federation, what it has done or what it has covered so far, at least we've set a platform. Our profile is showing that we're moving ahead. We couldn't go to the government and ask for funds showing nothing. Because the new system, every sport you must show something, you must have good reports, you must have annual reports, everything you're doing. So the federation, what we had to do in the previous years was to make sure that we organizing our reports so that when we come in or when we come up with going for corporate sponsorships from different companies or from the government itself, we have something to sort. But the current situation, every swimmer or every national swimmer, every athlete, we find ourselves that we have lots of events we'd want to take part in because the government may say in this year, I'm only going to help the federation, like the National Council give us something small for the team in Rwanda.
How small is it? Really small.
I mean, they only gave us 5 million, and our team needs more than 50 million.
Of course.
So we cannot say no. This is small. We just
you say thank you very much,
thank you very much. It will do something on our budget.
So how about if you okay, like you said, you've worked on your structures as the federation. How about if you start going out to sponsors? Jesse, I see Jesse on your jersey.
Yeah.
Talk to companies like Now Breweries, UBL, Fresh Diaries. I mean, these are companies that can be able to come on board, facilitate a small budget. 50 million shillings to companies is a small budget.
We really need companies who understand the sport. Let me give you an example. Football, I mean, everywhere, 90% of Ugandans understand what the Uganda
But also football is struggling for sponsorship.
Now, if
because it's an aggressive sport.
The same applies to swimming.
It's not an aggressive sport.
Swimming is the opposite of football.
Yeah.
90% understand football, 10% understand
swimming. Yeah.
So sometimes when you meet these corporate companies and you go in for a corporate responsibility, they'll first look at the mileage they're giving up. You're going to give back to them. But then it doesn't mean that we give up the sport because we want to see the sport growing. Everything has a starting point and then a progress point. So we've seen the progress point. So when you meet a corporate company, let me give you an example. You meet MTN. MTN will say, what's the mileage you're giving me? 5 years back, we could organize events and we barely have 100 swimmers taking part in that event. Let me say the national clubs we're having next month. If we look at 5 years back, you could organize it and you barely have 100 swimmers. But right now, the federation, what we're trying to do is to set a bigger milestone all around the country, so that every time we meet the corporate sponsors or corporate companies, they look at the mileage that we're going to give them. But now, one thing I'm appreciating what the federation has done currently is that if you organize a meet, like the meet we're expecting in June, we're expecting over 800 swimmers, which
from around Africa,
from all around the country, not just Uganda,
in Uganda.
It's the national clubs. So every other year, we're trying to reach more corporate companies so that they come on board. Right now, we have a few, but still they're not yet enough, because when you look at the budget of swimming, taking care of one swimmer's bills in an international event is almost as equal as taking care of 5 players.
The national calendar, the World Championship this year. How prepared is Team Uganda?
Our team, I'm happy to say that because our kids, or because the federation has worked a lot to bring in new coaches, to bring in training to our coaches, some of our swimmers that are going to take part in this event are actually not here. They're in different scholarships, but we have 3 swimmers who are going to take part in this event. So, what's so important is that the team is ready to go for World Championships. And what we're hoping, when you look at the previous World Championships we've been going to, because swimming is just like athletics, it's based on time. When you look at the times we used to make 5 years back or 3 years
it's
back,
not the same time as you're making today.
Like I said, the progress for Uganda swimming won't be the same progress for a country like US. Reason, those guys have everything. They have all the training grounds.
The structures, the financial capacity.
Let me give you an example. We had to train Team Uganda in Rwanda, in a Speak Resort that was going to represent Uganda in Rwanda, but we had to pay for the facility. So if you talk to the hotel and tell them, we have a swimming competition, we have to represent Uganda, just give us the facilities, let's probably just pay for maintenance. This is why they'll say, because swimming we have to train every day, these guys will say you have to pay for the facility. I mean, every businessman, as they're setting up their structures or their businesses, they have a different goal. They have a different objective.
Are there some grants that you can be able to get from the World Swimming Federation to support Team Uganda? Because, like in soccer, third world countries get a grant every year from FIFA to support either youth development or support the senior side. Because you're third world, you don't have a huge budget. This does not apply in swimming?
No, it does apply, but on a different level. Because for swimming, let's say FINA, that's the World Swimming Governing Board, the way you see FIFA for football. So this FINA, what FINA does, like the team we're going to send to Budapest in July, FINA pays off a portion. They say we're giving you 3 swimmers,
3 air tickets.
Yeah, they're giving you 3 air tickets, or giving you this. FINA sorts out a portion. But then you come back, when you return back here, you find that it's the parent to sort out the other remaining portion. So it's still a bit of a challenge to have.
Does the federation have any concept or any structures for to be able to solicit funds from people? Let's say that the competitions that you have, the national clubs competitions that you have, don't these swimmers pay some money so that you can put all these funds together, be able to support what you're doing?
No, we look at 2 things. When you're asking for a swimmer to pay for their affiliation for a year to be able to support the federation work, you want to give them something that's not going to chase them away from the sport.
Of course.
We are still at a point where we want more swimmers. We're not, I mean, if you're collecting football clubs, you might have more than 100 clubs in Kampala. But in swimming,
the swimming clubs are a bit 20.
So we're still at a point where we're still pulling more swimmers to come in for the sport, not at the point where anybody who comes, we first look at and see what happens. So as you're creating such things, you find that if you're asking for affiliation fee, you ask for something
very minimal.
Something very minimal. At the end of the day, it doesn't do much because you have lots of work to do. We have to organize different clinics. We have to organize different training programs. You find that the biggest problem is that swimming is slightly a high sport. Every sport has its own challenge. Every sport is expensive, but swimming has a certain level. Because let me give you an example. When you wake up and you're buying a kit for a football player, they're going for a match. That's a shirt and a top and a short, or maybe shoes. It will go for an average of $100. And swimming, just one swimsuit. Not even a cap, not even the goggles they're going to use. It goes for a minimum of $400. That's a racing suit.
That's kits in Uganda are really cheap.
That's what I'm trying to say. So if you know that the federation would like to do this and this and this and that, you find that you can all buy for the team or for a team of 30 athletes. You can all buy. That's crazy money. So at the end of the day, you go back to parents. But though what the federation has done, we're trying to partner with different people outside there who are really good in swimming. Like let me say. The Cristiano Ronaldo football, that is Michael Phelps for swimming. The Uganda Federation has managed to work with him, and he provided some training swimsuits. But again, this is for training. They are not for racing because they're different. I mean, you can get a training suit at around $10 or $20, but then a racing one will go for $400. So much as we're trying to look left and right and central to see that we put the sport ahead, some things are crazily on the high side. And then as well, when you look at countries like US, what's happening there is not what's happening here. Countries like every after 2 kilometers, you find a standard facility. Right now, most of the clubs we're having, when they're training in pools that are even barely 25 meters. So you find that we're still in a big struggle, much as we're progressing. But our progress may not be the same progress that US has. US is already there. So the most important thing is, one, when you look at the years the federation started, we could barely have 100 swimmers if you're having a selection of something. But right now we have more than 500 registered swimmers under the federation. That's already showing a progress chart. And then two, we used to have one club. I mean, everywhere you used to go, you could hear a dolphin swim club. But right now, we have more than 15 clubs which are coming up, and they all have good coaches. And then, to be really honest, with you, Uganda is still behind when you look at our neighboring countries like Kenya. Uganda is still back compared to swimming. But I'm happy to say that even last weekend we had Kenya organized a junior event, and the overall was in Uganda. The overall team was in Uganda. So what does it show? We have the talent. We have the talent here, but one big problem: we need the facilities. You need facilities to train. That's the biggest challenge we're having, and this is not going to go for 100 million or 200 million. We need something more than $1 million to set up that facility. So,
your closing remarks.
My closing remarks. We have a main event that we're having this year. That's in June. That's the Ugandan National Swimming Club's Swimming Championships. It's the third time organizing this event, and it's going to take part at Kampala International School of Uganda. That's in Bukoto. I would really want everybody who would be interested in seeing what's happening in swimming. It doesn't matter whether you know how to swim or you don't know how to swim, because we understand the biggest percentage of Ugandans are just learning the sport. But I would invite everybody to come in and take part, to come in and see what's happening with the swimming. And because we're not looking at 200 swimmers or 100 participants, we're looking at more than 600 swimmers taking part in this event. As well, we're expecting more than 15 teams. As well, what's so important is we want to see if we are progressing as Uganda. But the only way we shall see that is by seeing the times these guys are going to do. So I would say everybody out there who would want to come in and see what's happening in swimming, you're very welcome to the Uganda Swimming Federation national clubs, which is going to take part on 10th and 11th. That's next month. It will be Saturday and Sunday at Kampala International School of Uganda.
Eric, thank you very much for coming here to UBC. As UBC, the station that has the biggest viewership when it comes to sports, will be able to give more visibility and more light.
Yourself as well. We have what we call master swimming. So yourself as well, you can swim. It's not only for kids. Or maybe, can you swim?
Yes and no. I am very terrified about that.
The next time
the deep end.
by then you need it for your safety. You may not
Of
be able
course.
to go for competition.
Yeah.
At least you need it for your safety.
Yeah.
And then 2, you need it for your health.
Okay. Why not? I will come. If you invite me, I'll come
So
by for the
please,
national clubs,
please, I will,
have
I
a
will
look,
do that.
see how much visibility we can give the sport, and government listens to
We shall
UBC
see.
when we talk.
We shall be so grateful.
So-
we shall be so grateful to see that you take part. You're part of growing this sport.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric, for coming to UBC TV. Well, stay tuned to UBC. We'll take a short break. OTAI will join me shortly with what we have on our local sports and international sports. Stay tuned.
Evander Holyfield historically decides to start fighting as soon as he gets hit, but against Tyson, will he get that chance knowing how hard Tyson can hit? He's fought a total of 18 minutes and 40 seconds in his 4 comeback fights off his 3rd fastest championship fight KO. 109 seconds against Bruce Sheldon, his fastest 91 seconds against Michael Spinks. Keep in mind, Mitch Halpern was criticized for not stopping the Ruelas-Garcia fight last year in which Garcia died. We'll see if he's overly cautious. And as expected, Mike Tyson comes out fast. To these early brawling tactics, a straight right hand, a quick right by Tyson. Tyson then with a left uppercut. The crowd behind Holyfield.
Lander settling this down to more of what he wants, a sort of boxing match, rather than just some big slugging.
Holyfield comes back with a left hook. Holyfield with a combination to Tyson's head.
Holyfield's coming close a lot. We've been wondering.
A straight right hand by Tyson that landed. But Holyfield showing the champion.
Evander realizes the strength of Mike Tyson. He has no choice but to hold on every time we get close. He can't fight inside with Mike. I don't think anybody can.
Holyfield digging to the body with a right uppercut. Vicious left hook there by Tyson, but was warded off nicely by Holyfield. And left hook missed by Holyfield. He spins Tyson around. Tyson against the ropes.
I'll tell you what, the crowd thought that Mike was hurt. That might have been a good shot.
Combination by Holyfield to the head of Tyson. Holyfield also showing more hands.
He got Mike's attention. Mike's firing back, and now the slugfest ensues. That's not Evander's fight, but he's winning some of those combinations very well.
And vulnerable. Less than 3 rounds to go. Could go down with these on the judges' scorecard. Tyson missing and Holyfield countering with a right uppercut.
First real signs of weariness on Holyfield. First real signs.
Oh, a straight right combination by Holyfield. Holyfield looking to air it out.
Holyfield's unloading now. He's taking a shot. He's going for it.
Oh, Tyson's in trouble. Holyfield smothers Tyson. Looking to put Tyson down and end the fight. Tyson in trouble. He's saved by the bell.
Mike is out on his feet. Gonna have that natural power. That's the last thing that'll go. Evander's got to be careful here to hold on, but he has fought a perfect fight.
No matter what happens from here on in, we are looking at a sports legend in the purple trunks, Evander Holyfield. Holyfield continues to make it. A left hook to the head. He's got Tyson in trouble. Tyson's ready to go. A straight right hand. The top stops the fight, and Holyfield has
I can't believe what I'm saying. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever been privileged to witness.
Mayhem.
it is bedlam.
Thank you for staying tuned to UBC, where we inspire Uganda. This is Sports Galore. I am your host, Alice Namatovu. OTAI is here in studio with me. We had an interview from the PR of Uganda Swimming Federation that gave us everything concerning their calendar they have this year. Next month, they have the National Clubs Championship. And of course, late this year, they will have the World Championships. Team Uganda will be going to represent this country And of course, we as Uganda, it's our mandate, and here at UBC it's our mandate to tell you people, the sponsors, the fans that love the sport, the parents out there, to financially go and support Uganda Swimming Federation. Peter OTAI, swimming in Uganda is not very popular.
Yeah.
But of course, the sport is coming up. And of course, we do have athletes out there that are interested in the sport. But family, friends, are the ones that financially support their kids. National Council of Sports does not give a budget. The budget they give is very minimal. Last year, it was only 5 million shillings compared to what they give football, compared to what they give athletics. Boxing gets something, but swimming, 5 million shillings, surely?
I think it's the budget that the government allocates. I think government has not been very supportive of sports. I can say in this country, they have to do a lot in order to increase on the budget that actually is given out to the National Council of Sport. The budget is going to be read, I think, next month, and it will be read live on UBC TV. So we as sports journalists, we shall be concerned with the budget that the government is going to be allocating to the Ministry of Education and Sports together with Science and Technology. You know, it's big. You look at the ministry itself. It's Ministry of Education and Sports, Science and Technology. You understand these are about 3 things or 4 things placed in one.
Yeah.
So the budget will actually be squeezing the lesser side of the ministry, that is sports, because if you're looking at education, education is a huge priority in this country. Science and technology also takes a huge priority in this nation, and sports does not take a lot of priority in this nation. So if only 5 million is allocated to Uganda swimming, I think that is less money. That is little money, actually. That is
that's money me and you can put together for them, can't we?
Yes. Yeah, though I don't have that money right now, I have to say. But I have to say that is little money.
Yeah.
In this country, we have more than 26, actually 50, more than 52 federations are currently under National Council of Sports.
And they do what they can to support each federation.
Exactly. So if you look at the budget that the government gives National Council of Sport in order to run more than 52 federations, that money is not enough. Just only football, Uganda Cranes alone, just one campaign is the entire budget allocated to National Council of Sports for one full year. Just one outing.
How has kickboxing managed to give so much visibility to the sport and become more popular around people than swimming?
Yeah, true.
It's an individual sport like swimming.
When you look at contact sport, I think very many Ugandans prefer contact sport more than the non-contact sport, because swimming is not a contact sport.
But sponsors don't like an aggressive sport.
There are some that love the aggressiveness.
There are very few.
Yes, there are very few.
They tell you as an obligation for a company, tradition and culture does not allow us.
Yes,
the likes of telecom companies say we are not supposed to align with the contact sport.
Well, I don't know if that is true about a telecommunications company or anything there. Maybe it could be the in-house thing about the telecommunications company, because to me, when you go down to contact sport, that is wrestling,
they say
boxing.
Any event that you can exchange blood with a fellow athlete.
Well,
I say to them, rugby, they say, rugby, not really. And then I say, but boxing, it's direct. Kickboxing, it's intentional to injure somebody else. In fact, that's how they categorized it.
See, if you have studied sport, if you've actually studied sport, because right now I'm studying sport to the extent of the master's level. I'm doing a master's in science, in sports science, that is Chambogo University. And if you actually study this sport, you realize that there is an element of what we call prevention of injuries. How can you prevent an injury? That is one of the elements you do study. So some of these sports, there is a lot of prevention. The most important thing you do in sport is make sure that you actually prevent injuries. Yes, football is dangerous, but to what extent? That's the reason that's why you actually see footballers putting on shin guards, because they're trying to avoid
to
protect themselves from the injury. There are head injuries in football, you know. So there is a lot. So it is an aspect where we try, number one, the first priority in sport is to try and prevent injury, try to avoid an injury for yourself and your opponent. Okay,
from that we go to basketball. KIU Titans were last season's biggest disappointment in the National Basketball League. In the National Basketball League, it wasn't an easy year for them. It was a mess.
Yeah, KIU Titans actually did not. They played very well during the regular season. That's KIU Titans, and I think towards the end is where they decided to give up a little bit. I think it was around the playoffs. That's where they decided to crumble last season. But they were a very, very good side, I have to admit, on regular season basis. I don't know exactly how far they are putting up some action in this year's edition of the Basketball League that actually got underway a couple of weeks ago. But all in all, I think they're a side that we need to watch out for. They had a good crowd, a good backing last season. They were a team that were made up mainly of foreigners, a few Ugandans inside there, the Kaseke and Eronis of this world. Kaseke and Eroni has actually been bought by Betway Power. So I think KIU Titans will be one team to actually be looked at for this campaign. They have to improve a lot on how they attack and how they defend in their league.
Okay, last year they won over 20 consecutive games,
Yes,
but failed to get into the championship round.
Yeah, the regular season, that's regular season. They were very outstanding in the regular season. That is KIU. They played very, very well, but towards the League of the Boys, I think that is the playoff category, is where they decided to crumble. But all in all, I think they were very outstanding in regular season, and they're a side that do not disappoint in regular season, but they do disappoint in the playoffs.
City Oilers, you think they'll still be the team to beat this season?
Yes, they are. Even though they have lost a couple of basketballers, didn't begin very well. They were beaten by Power in their first game. I think they still have the mantle and experience of representing Uganda at the big level. That kind of experience will actually give them some impetus to go down and continue performing very well. So yes, they are a team to watch out for this campaign, even though teams like Power have actually gone on to bring in more better basketballers. But for me, the experience that is in City Oilers, together with the money that is put in by the Oilers, I think is something very good for them. Okay,
Team Uganda is preparing for Cape Verde. The Cranes are preparing to play Cape Verde on the 10th of June.
Yes.
The officials for that game, Uganda playing against Cape Verde from Mauritania. The fourth official also coming in from Gambia. But before we concentrate more on the referees for that game, how prepared is Team Uganda this week? I think last week on Saturday they were up country, Kabaroli. I think they won 3-0. Fort Porto, they won 3-0, 3-1.
It was 3-1.
How prepared is Team Uganda when you're playing just fans from all over the place? It's not the same preparation as you can have like teams that are preparing and have solid friendlies.
Yeah, when you look at Uganda at the moment, I think the campaign that they have right now is being run by the sponsor, that is
Nile Breweries and Airtel.
Yes, they are trying to promote their Cranes Namutima. Actually, Cranes Namutima
is doing really well.
Is a product of Nile, not Airtel. It's a product of
Nile Breweries.
Airtel is the official sponsor.
Riding on
so they are currently riding on the back of
Nile Breweries.
Because Nile are the owners of Crane Namutima.
Yes.
They're the ones who are taking the Cranes national team
all over the yes.
So the game that was played at Fort Porto, to me, was, I can say,
it had a massive crowd.
It was massive. It was the biggest crowd you can actually have in Cranes Namutima, because I thought the Soroti crowd was big. Then all of a sudden the Soroti crowd was surpassed by the Arua crowd, where Cranes were beaten there. Then from there we actually see a crowd in Fort Porto, which was in simple English words, crazy. That crowd was crazy. It was free entry. The area was full to capacity. We even had lines that were stretching for over 1 kilometer.
Yeah.
People actually lining up to enter the stadium.
The surprise for me there was the inclusion of London-born Ismail and another player that plays in Denmark for Aalborg, Kaketo Robert.
Yeah, this is where you actually have some footballers coming to showcase their skills. If you impress the gaffer, then you actually will be selected maybe to go and play for the Cranes against Cape Verde. So for me, the attendance in Fort Porto was crazy. I think this was coming after the motor rally that was actually down in Fort Porto. Because there were two events in Fort Porto last weekend rather. There was motor rally on Saturday.
And then there was
football on Sunday. Yeah. So it was crazy. Now, this is the beauty of sport. This is where government should actually come in and support sport. Because you can see in only 2 days in Fort Porto,
it has been massive.
Yes, over 3 billion shillings was actually spent in Fort Porto in 2 days.
Yeah.
3 billion. Now you just ask yourself, which activity in this country can actually give you 3 billion in 2 days, because you have motor rally drivers coming from as far as Uganda and the rest of Uganda coming down to compete for honors. Fuel is spent, there is accommodation fought for, people have to eat, the drivers have to eat, the staff of the drivers have to eat. Then all of a sudden you have the cranes coming the next day, you know, the players have to eat. So over 3 to 2 billion shillings was actually spent in 2 days in Fort Portal. So as I speak right now, the people in Fort Portal are actually, I can say, working with a lot of swag, like they call it. Yes, they are working with, because they made money. They made money.
They made a lot of money.
They made
the
money.
hotels
Yes.
made a lot of money. The restaurants.
Let me tell you, our very own reporter of UBC, Amoningam, was there. He was there covering this live. He was there. And he told me how crazy it was.
Yeah.
You know,
So hotels were booked out.
All the hotels were booked up. There were no, even a simple Leja hotel was not there in Fort Portal.
Okay,
That is the beauty of sport.
put concentration on the national team. How is Team Uganda prepared for Cape Verde?
Well, we are
10th of June.
Yeah, we are supposed to have 2 friendly games. One friendly game against Ethiopia, the other friendly game against Senegal. I think that will be good enough for us to prepare against Cape Verde.
Yeah.
One thing you need to know is that currently Uganda is overstretched, because we have 2 footballers who have retired from the national team.
Yeah.
You have Geoffrey Massa, who has retired, together with the midfielder, Tony Maweje, the midfield general, also retired from the national team. So,
but then you have these youngsters that are coming up. Ismail.
Yes, they will.
Do you think he's good enough to be at the national team? Then Robert Kaketo.
I have not seen the 2 very well played.
Kaketo starts for Obag.
Yes, he could be. We have seen very many starters of other teams coming, and they flop here.
Yeah.
We have seen them flopping here.
Yeah.
We have seen one guy who was brought all the way from London. He came here and he flopped at Nachivubo Stadium.
Savio.
You leave Savio. Okay, put Savio there.
Savio, who kidnapped himself.
There was a guy who was playing for Chelsea. Chitamirike.
Yes.
Chitamirike.
Yeah.
Everybody spoke about Chitamirike. What did he do when he came here? There was another guy whom they brought again from Sweden, I think. Was donning on jersey number 10. I've forgotten that guy's there. He had some bit of dreads.
And then you had Derek Subi Kizito.
Yeah, so these are guys who have actually, you see the problem we have with Ugandan journalists, and this is something I have to bring out boldly, most especially to FUFA. We need to begin following these footballers not only for 2 games. You need to follow the performance of these footballers for a long time.
And then you remember that Zairan-born player who was brought on the national team, but come training session, he was injured.
It is because FUFA
doesn't have the budget to facilitate the head coach.
That could be. You see, in other countries, the head coaches are given money to move and watch these footballers. You'll see that if that boy of Uzbek is playing, maybe tomorrow, Mitchell would have been Obag rather.
Yeah.
He'll be given
he would
money
be in Denmark
to go and watch that guy playing maybe 5 games.
Yeah.
Assess his performance.
He's not a starter at Obag because the player that plays in the same position as him is extremely good. But he comes on every now and then. But when Kaketo was taken to Mitchell said, okay, we'll give him a chance.
He was taken.
Yeah.
He was taken.
Yeah.
So it means Mitchell.
But Mitchell did not see.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. There should be a budget given to the coach or any other technical person to go down and assess these footballers and really see whether these footballers are good enough for this country.
Yeah.
That's what we should be looking at. We should not be looking at news or hearing news that, oh, we have a Ugandan who's playing in France. He's very good. He has scored 5 goals out of 5.
Yeah.
Then we are quick to begin rushing.
Yet you have boys here in Uganda from Maroons who score 16 goals out of 8 games.
Exactly. So we have seen very many flops who have been picked and they come and play. But they flop. And you ask yourself why. There is a much better footballer in Uganda who's playing regular football for Sports Club Villa, playing regular football for KCC, playing regular football for Nduparaka, but has not been gotten the chance to go and represent his nation. So there are a lot of things we have to do.
Okay, from that to international sports, Sebastian Vettel got the first podium at the Monaco Grand Prix, and of course won the Monaco Grand Prix over the weekend for Ferrari.
Yeah, it was good for him.
Lewis Hamilton coming out to say, Sebastian Vettel is favored over Kimi Raikkonen. What claims are those?
Well, those are personal issues I do not understand about. But when you look at Hamilton himself, he actually began at number 13, position number 13.
And he finished 7th.
Yeah, so it would be very difficult for him to actually go down and win that, because when you look at the difference right now between the number 1 and number 2, it's about 29 points separating the two. Yes, we still have very many races to actually compete in, and never know anything around there could actually maybe happen, and we could see Hamilton coming back. But like I said, Sebastian Vettel, very outstanding, began very well, finished very well. Like we always say, that motorsport is basically team event. So if your team is in support of you, then you'll actually go down and win. But if your team is not in support of you, then you could be having a problem. That's the reason as why you're having remarks like that coming up, that the man is favored.
From Raikkonen,
yes,
yeah. So from Lewis Hamilton.
Yes, he's favored more than the other.
But Team Ferrari have always had an issue of protecting their athletes. I remember Michael Schumacher used to be way favored over Barrichello, and in fact, in most cases, Barrichello was being told to let Michael Schumacher pass by him so that Ferrari get the title.
It's money. You see, I think there is actually a lot of money in this sport. That's the reason, as you see, that it will take us a long time for such a sport to actually come down to Africa, because there is a lot of money that is involved in this sport. The reason as to why the number 1 driver is actually being favored is because there is a lot of money that comes in from sponsorship for their number 1 driver. Because if everybody hears that, oh, yes, Schumacher's won, there is money that will be associated with Schumacher compared to Berlusconi. So that is the element as to why you're having the number 1 driver actually being allowed to win the rest, because there is more money that will come into the team compared to the second driver winning. Okay,
the French Open started last week.
Yep.
Rafael Nadal being warned as one of the biggest title contenders on the women's calendar. Angelica Kerber exiting already. But Rafael Nadal is into the second round already, eased into the second round. Djokovic did the same. Venus Williams also into second round. But of course, there are worries for Andy Murray, who is playing against Russian Andrei Kuznetsov.
Yeah, like I said before, it's a sport of the big, and of course the big will actually go down and win it. Like the usual names are always there. Rafael Nadal is already through to the next round.
Remember, Roger Federer withdrew from the tournament. So it's basically Andy Murray, Rafael Nadal, and Djokovic.
Yeah, exactly, those are the 3.
But of course, you have the 2 German brothers.
I don't want to be a little bit caught offside
when
somebody goes on to win it apart from the 3. But all in all, I have to admit that it is the French Open and anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's an open of surprises where you can actually realize that somebody from nowhere can actually come down and maybe win the activity at the end of the day. So let's wait and see. But of course, for the gaffers who'll have to bet, the eyes will be on Rafael Nadal to actually go down and win it.
Okay, yesterday Roma played, and one of the biggest legendary footballer in the team, Roma, yesterday bid farewell to club and international football. Yeah, of course, he hasn't been playing for Italy, but he's been very competitive for Roma, and indeed yesterday it was his last game for club.
Yeah, Francesco Totti, I think he has given almost his entire life to Roma. At the age of 40, I think 40 plus, if I'm not very much mistaken, he has been at Roma. So you realize that this guy on screen has actually done everything there is to do for Roma. At 42, he actually began playing for Roma at an age of about, at a teenage age. So almost his entire life has been given to
Roma. On the
Roma.
screen, that was his last game playing for Roma. He picked up the microphone, said a tearful farewell to a club that has loved him.
Yes.
Clubs can betray you, say we don't want you, but this man has been at that club since he was a teenager. Yeah, and he was amazing for the Italian national team.
He was for, if you look at the name on his back, just the name on his back is a name that is worshipped in Italy. The name Totti is actually worshipped across Italy.
More than Maldini?
Maldini family is rich.
Yeah.
It's father and son who have actually made the name, really.
Yeah,
Maldini.
yeah.
It's father and son. Yes, the name is also worshipped in Roma.
But this man has made his name for what he has done on the pitch.
Exactly, Totti. Totti has been very outstanding to
Look,
club and country. And
how come we can't do such gestures in Uganda? Do you see that shirt number 10 on the
I don't know if Roma has actually retired that shirt number. I don't
Number
know if they have
10.
actually retired it. Maybe they'll think about retiring it, because if you have somebody who has given his entire life to you for over 40 years, number one captain of Roma, I think it's respect
He's
to
crying.
retire. Yeah, it's respect to retire the shirt number, the jersey number 10.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who will be putting on jersey number 10, whether that person will actually be as lethal or as honorable as Totti. So for me, retire the jersey number in respect of Totti. I would actually beg.
Okay, the media and the fans pouring out tributes to him. You can see
Look
how
at that player worshiping. Look at the player worshiping Totti. Simple God. He's actually a god in Roma. Very, very, very good footballer, Francesco Totti. Very, very good footballer, I have to say. So for me, his entire career has been with Roma. There are few footballers in this world who can actually give you an entire life.
Because players
you.
would be very hungry for money, and they say, okay, let me move to China.
You would have gone to China
let me go to the USA and play. Let me go to Qatar and play. But he said, I will end my career at Roma. And indeed, that's a decision.
Yes, that is a decision that he made. And I think maybe Roma, the only thing that they can do is maybe with respect, retire the jersey, respect, give him an ambassador role, respect, give him a coaching role, maybe come down and coach the young lads, respect, maybe try and give him a managerial role at the club, because
you see, Van der Sar was given, I think, director of football at Ajax.
Yes, he's a director of football. So that is the respect I'm talking about, that you need to
and of course, at Man United, they tried the same.
Exactly.
To give Paul Scholes an opportunity, Phil Neville an opportunity. I mean, the clubs do that all the time. But
it is only a problem at Arsenal Football Club where you
haven't seen Thierry Henry given a chance.
That is the problem.
He was given a chance with the under-17s. Then he said, "I do not want."
That is very true, because if you look at Arsenal, you realize that one of their best midfielders, Patrick Vieira, actually decided to cross over to become
Man
a coach
City.
in Man City.
Yeah.
Then you have one of your other good midfielders in, there was this guy that they signed, Arteta, who is actually also at Manchester City. That is, then you have David Beckham.
Of course, Arteta was not a great. Arteta was not a great at Arsenal. Maybe you can say Pires, you can say Vieira, you can say Ljungberg. You can say Tony Adams.
Tony Adams is a coach in Spain. He actually
Granada.
Yes,
at Granada.
Yeah, he complained that it's Arsene Wenger who has let him down. Arsene Wenger has let him down. He's actually, I can say, avoiding him from coming to coach Arsenal Football Club. So you can realize your great people, your great players.
If you fail to coach Granada, you think you can be able to coach a team like Arsenal that has a lot of pressure?
He came to Granada with about, I think, 3 to 5 games to go, and they were bottom of the table. So his task was to try and avoid the cut.
Relegation.
It's difficult.
But it was difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. We have seen him at Portsmouth also, when Portsmouth was doing very badly. That's when they call him up. So such coaches, you need them maybe when the coach or when the team is playing very well.
Okay, Iniesta, over the weekend when they played Alaves, I think they won that game, Copa del Rey final 3-1.
Yeah, they did.
Iniesta becoming the most decorated footballer in Spanish football.
Yes, he has won everything there is to win. If you actually go down and look at the amount of cups, the amount of trophies that he has, really, you have to give Iniesta some credit for winning everything there is to win in Spain, and not only
for
in
country
Spain,
and club.
Yes, and even for club. So the amount of Copa del Rey trophies that he has, the amount of Champions League trophies he has, the amount of Super Cups that he has, he is the most decorated footballer in Spain.
Okay,
Iniesta.
He has 33 trophies with his career, one more than teammate Xavi. Iniesta has won the World Cup, 2 Euros, 8 La Liga titles, and 5 championship cups.
Yes. So that's what you're talking about. So it will be very difficult to have such a person again winning such trophies. So you have to give him credit, the captain Iniesta, credit of Barcelona. the captain of Barcelona Football Club, for a job well done. Okay,
Copa del Rey on over the weekend. I think it was Saturday. Barcelona playing Alaves. It wasn't an easy game, like people thought, but it was 3-1 for Barcelona, and something for Enrique to go home to. I think he bid farewell. He said he doesn't not want to coach Barcelona anymore. Is it the pressure?
It is the pressure. It is the pressure.
How would you not want a team that has players that score over 100 goals between three?
It is the pressure right now. You realize that Barcelona Football Club, I don't know if
It's
they'll
not
be
an
the
easy
same.
team.
I don't know if they'll be the same Barcelona of next season. Really, there is a lot.
Without Enrique?
There is a lot. There is
A lot of
coming.
players
There's-
have retired.
Yeah, a lot of players are currently giving up Barcelona Football Club. There is a lot of issues.
You remember the time when
out,
Puyol left Barcelona? It was never the same.
Yes, it
They
is.
started conceding so many goals. I think this is also a time for Xavi to think about it. Iniesta to think about retiring.
Xavi already left. Xavi left.
If Xavi left, Iniesta
could be the
Iniesta
one
has to think
looking
about
lead.
it.
Yes. Right now there is a backroom issue concerning the best footballer in the world right now, Lionel Messi. There is a problem. Messi complaining with the director. of football.
Neymar also. There's a lot of
also complained.
speculation
Yes,
around him
yes,
that he might
yes.
be joining another
Yes.
team.
So there is a lot. There is a lot that needs to be looked at. So for the coach, I think he's looking at jumping ship when they're still up. I think it's a wise decision to do. Leave the club when they're still up.
Guardiola did the same.
Yes, everybody's leaving the club when they're doing.
And then
when they're
the
up.
late
So,
coach who died, what's his name?
well, for him, was it Tiki? I've forgotten his other name, but Tiki actually decided to. He had, of course, health
He was
issues.
sick, yeah.
he was
He had
sickly,
cancer.
but he was a very good coach. We have
So
to give him credit for that.
Barcelona coach Enrique has achieved not everything. He has achieved a La Liga title. He has achieved the Champions League.
Yeah.
But of course, no Champions League for him. But Copa del Rey, is it good enough for him?
Yeah, the mere fact that he has not won a
But
Premier
it's
League-
Barcelona.
Yeah, sorry, he has not won the league title. It's just like Arsenal Football Club consolation, win the domestic trophy. That is,
Yeah.
of course, the FA.
Yeah.
And Copa del Rey, no problem.
Okay, talk about Arsenal. They won the FA Cup over the weekend,
Yes.
2-1 against Chelsea.
Very
It wasn't
outstanding
easy.
performance.
Red card, early red card for Chelsea, but Costa,
As usual.
as usual.
As usual. I have to say it was the best performance that
you've
Arsenal
seen
has
Arsenal.
displayed this season. I wonder where this football was, because from the beginning of the whistle, Arsenal Football Club
Were hungry.
Were very hungry.
Were they doing it for Arsene Wenger?
I don't know if they're doing it for Arsene Wenger, but for me, I think they're doing it for themselves, because really they needed to.
They
win
needed
this.
something.
They needed to win this, because if you look at Arsenal Football Club, number one, they were a depleted Arsenal football side that did not actually have the fast defenders with them. Koscielny out because of a red card. He was suspended.
I remember last week I was here with you and you said, oh, Koscielny not there, the best defender in the Premier League at the
Yes,
moment.
yes, the
So
best centre
this is Chelsea's time
It
to
was.
win the
They-
FA
they-
Cup.
it was.
But
They did not
Arsenal were
utilize-
hungry.
Yeah, because for me it was very outstanding. Arsenal played very well. Everybody were playing very well, because
They were playing as a team.
Yes, Chelsea Football Club are the masters of using three defenders. Arsene Wenger, I think, began using three defenders around. Was it this year? That's
Yeah.
when we saw Arsenal
Yeah.
utilizing
Yeah.
the three
Yeah.
defenders. So
And
experience-wise on using three defenders, Chelsea were better. And look at this. With three defenders, you have Mertesacker. Of all footballers,
Mertesacker.
who actually, I think, has played about less than 10 games.
He has been injured
Yes,
all
because
through.
of injuries. So
Yeah.
he comes and plays in this game. He was very outstanding.
Arsenal could have
Very
easily
outstanding.
won 3-0.
Not
They
three,
they,
six.
they attacked, and I was looking at this
It
game
was
and I was
six.
thinking,
look at this chance.
these
That's
players-
another chance. Look at that. They just look at that, hitting the post, and on the other side, Ramsey failing to notch it back. Arsenal should have won this game.
and I think,
6.
Peter, you're not agreeing with me, but I think Arsene Wenger into the dressing room at Wembley told these players, look, please go out there, enjoy the game, do it for the fans. The fans need something. It's 4 seasons and 4 trophies for the FA Cup.
Yeah, very good for Arsenal Football Club. So actually, they become the #1 team right
13
now. 13
FA Cups.
Yeah, because the next team that comes next to them is Man United with 12. They were
Yeah,
stuck at 12.
yeah.
Arsene Wenger becomes the first manager, by the way,
To win 13.
To win, not 13.
No, not
he has
13,
7
7.
FA Cup titles right now. Because before they were tied at 6-6, right now Arsenal, look, another chance. Another chance there. Just look at another chance anyway. But right now, Arsene Wenger is the one with 7 FA Cup titles. So it's a record. It's a record that Arsenal Football Club are building. Another chance.
And
it was another chance that went begging on.
I think that if Arsenal can be able to play like this for 20 games only a season, Wouldn't they be title contenders?
They would on very many occasions.
If
Again,
they can display the same football.
When Leicester won the title, Arsenal
They were playing like this.
Yes, Arsenal were contenders.
Yeah.
Who were favourites to win, but Leicester came and won it. Then even this season, Arsenal were looked as contenders because all the old boys were still there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, where are they? They're number 5. So they are good. They are very good footballing side. But sometimes you just wonder what happens.
Speculation around Sanchez that probably that might be his last game for Arsenal.
I don't think if it's his last game because he still has a 1-year contract remaining with Arsenal Football Club.
We've seen players leaving clubs with a 1-year contract going to play at other clubs.
Well, that is if the team
Mesut Ozil.
I don't think if Alexis Sanchez will leave, really. I really don't see him leave. But only one thing is very clear. I think Arsenal Football Club were very outstanding on the night. Played very good football.
So the big fat German, like they call Matasaka, gets another medal.
Yes. His second FA Cup title, by the way.
Yeah.
So you have to give him credit for a job well done. He was very outstanding on the night. Very outstanding on the night.
So Arsene Wenger will go to the boardroom and tell everyone, look, 3 titles in 4 years, 3 FA Cups. What are you saying? The fans, what are you saying? I am staying. I am going to renew my contract.
That is the discussions are on today and tomorrow because there is a 2 days meeting. Today and tomorrow is.
But of course, already the board had already given a vote of confidence.
Yes, that's the most important thing. So the only thing that will be left will be whether the board will allow Arsenal to actually spend because they need to spend in order. Because now I think Arsenal's next target right now is the Premier League title, which has eluded them for a long time, and the Champions League title.
Okay,
it won't be very good for Arsenal again to win
quickly into Ballon d'Or. Balotelli jokingly saying he would have to kill Lionel Messi and Ronaldo to win Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, that's very true. There is no way Balotelli can actually win that. But also, we have not looked at something. That is the Uganda Cup.
Yeah.
Uganda Cup, where that is Paida Black Angels.
Yeah,
have actually
are into the finals.
Yeah, they've become the second team from West Nile to qualify for the Uganda Cup final.
After Dumbaraka.
Yes, after Dumbaraka. There was the first leg that was played between KCC and Express. KCC winning that by 3 goals to 2. Beautiful game it was. Good football at Lugogo. They'll be playing tomorrow in the return leg
at Wankulukuku.
Yeah. Then also KCC plays this weekend.
Matthias Lule saying he's very confident.
Exactly.
He'll be able to overturn.
Yes. Yeah, KCC has to. That's the problem KCC have. They have another game to be played this weekend. That is against the team Rivers United from Nigeria. So KCC have 2 games in 1 week, tomorrow and Saturday.
Okay, thank you so much, Peter OTAI.
Welcome.
For being here for this edition of Sports Galore.
Welcome.
Me, you, and Santos, I think, will be here next Monday.
Yes, we will. Yes,
Producer of the show, Othman Sempewa, Mr. Othman Sempewa, thank you so much for making sure that we have Sports Galore every Monday. Executive producer, Mr. Dean Chibirige, thank you so much for making sure that we have Sports Galore. Mr. Ratoro on camera, you've always made me and Peter OTAI look this wonderful. Thank you so much. You, the viewers of UBC, that make sure that you are watching UBC. Thank you so much. Champions League final. Peter OTAI will be here on the 3rd of
this weekend, I think.
This month, June, next month, 3rd of next month.
Yes.
So you and Jen Kasumba will be here in studio for that final.
Yes, we shall.
So you, the viewers, you have no other channel to watch on the 3rd apart from UBC TV, where we inspire this weekend on a Saturday. Stay tuned to UBC. More quality programming is on next. Good afternoon.
Unassuaged, and he's certainly got more today. At one point, Stuart, when we looked at the lineups, yes, at the back, a bit makeshift. Oxlade-Chamberlain, left wing back, a bit